question from one of our friends here on our channel. Hi Sunny, longtime watcher on YouTube here. I have been doing ballroom dance for a year now and really enjoy pro-am competition. As a man in the A1 division, there's usually not many other competitors at the comps, but I'm wondering, what is the highest level of competition for pro-am, specifically in American smooth style? Is there open championship like there is in the amateur divisions or the pro divisions? Thanks for the info on your channel. Okay, let's dive into this. It can be very confusing, especially when you kind of first get involved in competition. There is so much vocabulary in all of these divisions. And there's different labels in different categories. So if you listen to me on my channel, I actually use the term like championship amateur or championship level pro. It's actually a colloquial term in English. The term I would use with my competitor friends, if I were doing amateur or pro, is actually called open amateur, open pro. Now, it's different in the pro-am. Don't know why, but it is what it is. In the pro-am divisions, it is called championship. And specifically in your division, my friend, you are going to look in the entry forms for the term Gentleman for Dance Smooth Championship. I know that's a lot of words. And just for reference, I'm going to give you a little screenshot of the Ohio Star Ball entry form with that category kind of circled so you can see where to look on the form. And then I will share a link in the description if you're interested in actually seeing what that form looks like. But it'll be pretty consistent with any prom comp you would do. It's going to look kind of like that, okay? Now, unlike the other categories that you're likely dancing in right now, you do not get to cherry pick the dances. So this isn't like a single dance event where, well, gosh, I'm not confident with my Viennese today, so we're just going to not do it at this comp. No can do. You must do all 4 of the smooth dances in that championship level pro-am, okay? Now, that's going to be the highest skill level of competitors in the pro-am division. That being said, if you're not quite ready for that, there are some other categories that are pretty darn competitive, okay? And these categories are not judged in the same way those group flights would be where you're just doing a single dance. You actually are cumulatively judged. For example, they're going to combine the scores, so to speak, of the waltz, your tango, your foxtrot, your Viennese, and then you're judged as a whole. So another category, again, not quite as competitive, but definitely very competitive for pro-am compared to the solos, the individual dances, is the open scholarship events. So for example, on the entry forms, you want to look for open bronze smooth scholarship, open silver smooth scholarship. That's going to be a pretty darn competitive, category. Okay, guys, now competitive does not necessarily mean you're going to have the most entries in that event, okay? And a little hack I suggest using is to plan your comps for next year, see which comps your pro is willing to go to, and then look up the results for that competition, and you will be able to see that actual breakdown of the winners and how many people entered, because year to year, the number of entries in each division is going to be pretty consistent. Obviously, they change over time. They might grow gradually. But for example, if you had, 3 gentlemen in your division last year at this particular comp, don't expect 30 this year. It's going to be pretty consistent year to year. If the number of competitors, really matters to you. Okay, so another little hack I suggest that's a pretty darn competitive category are the solos, because most comps are going to have like, I'll call it like a best solos of the whole comp award. And so de facto, they're not saying the best bronze solo or the best gold solo. They're saying of all the solos. So you're going to be up against follows. You're going to be up against leads. You're going to be up against gold couples. You're going to be up against those championship open, the scholarship events, the whole 9 yards. And so that's another division that if you're interested in being a little bit more, bringing your A game and competing hardcore, consider putting a good solo together, okay? It's a little scary, in my opinion, for many people to be kind of that only couple. And so I'll tell you, my first solo comp, I was shaking like a leaf. It was the only time I ever actually shook. I was so frightened in a competition. I was an amateur back then. But anyway, it can be a little scary at first, but definitely, hey, it's good motivation to work on your dancing. And it is a good competitive event, okay? So painting with a broad brush, the larger comps tend to be more competitive than the smaller comps. And I've included a link in the description for the how to start ball entry forms, because that's a pretty big comp. But, depends where you live in the country, what your budget is. And let's go back to those, they're called group flights, where you just enter one dance. That's not a highly competitive event. Even for the follows, you might only be the only competitor in your category on the floor. But if it's in the budget, I would suggest doing some of those. Here's why. You've already, as a prime dancer, paid a small fortune to go to that comp, okay? That first round on the floor is going to be a dumpster fire. You're not going to dance your best. Especially as a gentleman prime dancer, you're not probably going to get, 5 rounds to get your A game on and warm up. And so in my opinion, those group flights are a great option for, I'll call it your warm-up rounds, okay? And it's not just you, okay? Honestly, even me competing at like that championship level pro divisions, sometimes my first round was a dumpster fire. The nice thing about Open Pro is there's usually a lot of elimination rounds. So that first round is a throwaway. You just dance it and know it's going to stink. And then you come back and you dance a heck of a lot better in those future rounds. So hopefully that was helpful information, friends. Thank you so much for asking. And guys, if you ever have a question, please ask. Makes my job so easy to come up with topics, because if you have the question, those tend to be the most popular videos on my channel, because I kind of throw a dart in the dark every day when I wake up, like, what do they want to hear about today? And I usually don't use people's names, and certainly if you send me a messenger message on my Facebook page, I would never use your name. Just because, hey, I get it. It's a little scary to have my name out here in the metaverse. I get it. So anyway, guys, I look forward to seeing you first thing tomorrow morning with some more things ballroom dance. Have an awesome day. Happy dancing.